Hello everybody, another week, another tax topic. Today we're going to look really briefly at the implications of gifting money, gifting assets to others. And in order to look at gifting, we have to look at the broader picture of your estate. When you die, if the value of what you owned is more than $12.92 million, the federal estate tax kicks in. And that becomes important when we're talking about gifting. Here in Washington State, that limit's only $2.193 million. And barring any congressional action, that federal $12 million is supposed to drop back down to $5 million in 2026. Congress is always talking about changes that they'd like to make to the estate tax, so it's definitely a moving target. But for now, for the purposes of this video, we just want to know that you can have a multi-million-dollar estate and not pay any estate tax when you die. Gifting comes in because someone with a high value estate may want to give away that estate during their life to help bring down the value of their estate upon death. You can give anybody that you would like $17,000 per person per year with no tax implication, no filing requirements, no disclosure required to anybody. If you're married, you and your spouse can each give that $17,000 to each person that you would like to give money to. Not a problem. If you give more than that, $17,001 to someone, a gift tax return is required. Though, again, if your estate is not in that $12 million range, there's not going to be any tax due with this gift tax return. You're just telling the IRS, hey, I'm allowed to have this $12 million estate. I've given away, in our case of $17,001, I've given away $1 of that so far. You carry that forward year over year to keep track of the total that you've given away. So giving it away while you're alive isn't taking that money out of your estate long term, really. It's just doing it sooner. Definitely something to keep in mind. Definitely something to chat through if that's a situation that you're finding yourself in. One other thing to keep in mind is that if you give someone an asset, say shares of stock or property, they receive that gift with your cost basis. So if you paid $1,000 for some stock that you give to someone, and that stock is now worth $10,000, your recipient is going to pay tax on $9,000 if they sell that immediately. They may hold it for a very long time and pay tax on even more, but their cost in that stock is the same as your cost in that stock, and you need to disclose that to them when you gift that to them so that they have that information. It's really important. If the value of the asset drops, their cost in it is that value when you gift it to them. So they don't get a tax benefit for the value of the loss. So the thing to keep in mind with this evaluation piece is that if you have that appreciated stock, if your beneficiary received it after you die, if they inherit that stock, they inherit it at that $10,000 value. So they don't pay tax on that $9,000. That value was included in your $12 million estate. So if you've got those appreciated assets, your beneficiaries most likely would much more appreciate receiving cash than receiving that stock, at least until after you have died. Couple other things to keep in mind, just that trusts can be used to help reduce the size of your estate, but definitely consult an estate attorney. The laws vary by state. There's a lot of complexity. Definitely consult your estate attorney and your tax pro to help make sure that you're actually meeting the goals that you want to meet without just adding complexity and adding cost to your estate plan. If you're a small estate, if this $12 million thing is just mind-boggling. If you have a very small estate, be mindful of Medicaid's look-back period. So if you are giving gifts of your estate, giving assets or giving cash, and your estate is dwindling down and you're going to need assisted living, something like that, be mindful that Medicaid does look back 5 years, and you can be penalized for having given away that money because that money should have been conserved to be used for your care. So keep those things in mind. As always, let us know if you have any questions, if you have ideas for additional topics. Be happy to tackle some other things anytime. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you again next week. Bye.